Hello, welcome back to Psychology and Counseling, and let's learn together and enjoy the course. This is your host, Dr. Tripo Mwenifumbo. Today, we continue with the course entitled Counseling Intervention. Uh, when we look at counseling has got a lot of courses and intended to build your skill as counselors. As I said, this is your host, Dr. Tripo Mwenifumbo. So, how do we define a counseling intervention? Counseling intervention are purposeful and systematic actions taken by counselors to facilitate positive change and growth in clients. These interventions are designed to address specific clients' concerns, needs, and goals, and are grounded in theoretical frameworks and evidence-based practicals. So now when we talk about counseling as a science, we mean that in counseling, there are proven methods that we use in counseling, which means that when you use them, they are able to yield results. So in this respect, we are talking about counseling intervention, which is a science of counseling. And when we use the methods that have been approved in the counseling intervention, then you'll be able to receive the result. You know the definite answer that is going to be given. When we talk about science, we mean something that can be proven. So now, the skills and the tactics that are used in counseling intervention are scientific skills that has got definite answers. When you use them, you are sure that these are the results that it is going to yield. So the key aspects of counseling intervention, number one, goal-oriented. Interventions aim to achieve specific client's goal and outcomes. So the reason why we do counseling intervention is that the goal is aimed at achieving specific client's goal and outcomes. So there must be a specific outcomes in the counseling intervention. Then number two, systematic. The interventions are planned, structured, and implemented in a deliberate manner. So there is an order, there is a way that that interventions is structured for you to be able to bring the desired result. If a person or your client is going through a certain situation, there is a method, there is a formula that is used. So those formulas that are used are the ones that qualifies counseling intervention to be scientific. Then evidence-based. When we talk about science is evidence-based. It has to give the evidence, it has to give the answer that is definite and that can be proven and that can be seen. So interventions are informed by research and empirical evidence. They are evidence that you are able to see. If I tell my client this is that what is going to happen. For example, the client comes to you and says, I want to commit suicide, things are bad, and whatever that the client may say, complaining and saying he wants to commit suicide. Then you ask your client, before you commit suicide, have you ever thought about your children or the people that loves you? Have you ever thought of, have you ever considered of doing this? So that is an intervention whereby you make a person able to realize and able to look at other things. Then it is also tailored. When we say it is tailored, interventions are adapted to individual client and needs and circumstances. You don't use the same formula or the same way. There is this mistake that most people make. Because this one, for example, the client comes, my husband comes in the night and beats me. My husband comes in the night. So immediately just say comes in the night, your mind concludes and beats me. When he was saying that, when my husband comes in the night and asks me about the children. So you in when it comes to intervention, counseling intervention, it is tailored to individual. So you treat every individual unique and different, and every problem is unique and different. People may explain the same problem, but it may be different when you are addressing it, because people have got different threshold. When we talk about threshold, we are talking about the way we react to situations, the way we feel pain. So the threshold differs from one person to another. People may face the same problem, but the reaction may be different. The same problem can make someone commit suicide, and the same problem can make someone be able to stand as if there is nothing that has happened. So it is tailored to individuals. So as a counselor, you look at the individuals and you deal with individuals. You don't deal with the problems. Like if I'll give you another example. Like someone comes to you, I am pregnant. You see, I'm pregnant. You see, people who come with different thing. No, counselor, I am pregnant and I want to commit suicide. You are just from canceling that one who is pregnant and wants to commit suicide. Why do you want to commit suicide? Because I'm pregnant. Another one will come. Counselor, I'm pregnant. I'm very excited. Why are you excited? Because I'm pregnant. So can you say the problem is pregnancy? No. The problem, it is the perspective according to an individual. So the problem may not be able to the problem may not be able to define the feeling of somebody. The other thing is that counseling intervention is collaborative. Collaborative. When you say collaborative, it involves active client participation. So you collaborate with your client. So the client must participate as you are doing the intervention, as you are finding the solution together. Then counseling intervention is cultural sensitive. Intervention respects and acknowledges client's culture, background, and values. Now, we have to know that background, value, and culture creates a certain perspective in one's life. Some of the challenges that we have in marriages may be cultural challenges. I'll give you an example that, like the husband is from patrino tribe and the wife is from matrino tribe. So you'd find that the perspective on the view of children may differ from each other, because the one who is from Patrino family believes the children belongs to me, and as the father, and my children should have my inheritance. And the one who belongs to the Matrino tribe, it believes the children belongs to my family and they have their inheritance in my family. So you'll find that when it comes to issues, they may be different, they may differ, and they may be able to react different toward the children. Then so that you have to put into consideration that the reaction of your client may depend on the beliefs, may depend on the background, and may depend on the cultural and the values that they hold on to. Then counseling and intervention is flexible. So flexibility is one of the scientific measures that interventions takes. Interventions may be adjusted or modified as needed accommodate clients' progress and changing needs. So there is no where you just have to say no, things are supposed to be like that. It has to be flexible. Now, what are the types of counseling interventions? There are different types of counseling interventions. Number one, we have got cognitive behavioral interventions. Number two, we have got emotional regulation strategies. So the CBI, and also we have got the ERS. We have got also behavioral modification techniques, which is BMT. And we have got humanistic and extension approach, which is the HEA. And we have got psychodynamic and dynamic and psychoanalytic interventions. Then we have got family and relationship therapy. We have got group counseling and group therapy. We have got career counseling. So let me say about group counseling and group therapy. There are certain situations, there are certain issues that can be dealt, or the perspective of somebody is heard because it belongs to a certain group. For example, one may be hurt because someone has spoken bad about his tribe. That can also be a challenge in counseling. He's not reacting because somebody has insulted him, but because somebody has insulted his group. Somebody, you just say women are bad. You say someone become offended because she's a woman. One becomes offended because he's a man. So there are certain challenges and certain issues that are got a challenge, not because one has been offended directly. Like someone said, all men are dogs. Now, one person answered, it was on social media, and said, and which breed is your father? If all men are dogs, which breed is your father? But you'd find that this person may say, no, my dad is not a dog. But she's the one who said that. So some of the things, some of the challenges are group challenges, gender, tribal, and all that. Then there is career counseling development. There is crisis intervention and trauma response. Then there is cultural and diversities sensitive counseling. As I was saying, there is some challenges comes because of the groups that we come from. Then effective counseling intervention require a strong therapeutic relationship. So if you want to be an effective counselor in the intervention, you have to be therapeutical in a relationship. Therapeutical is that your relationship must be aimed at helping your client. Your relationship must be aimed at bringing healing to your client. Your relationship has to be based on how am I going to help this client to come out of this problem. Number two, it has to be accurate assessment and diagnosis. Well, you have to look at the actual problems and your client is facing, and you have to make a very wise assessment. As I was saying that one comes, I want to commit suicide because I'm pregnant. And if you are not careful as a counselor, you start talking about pregnancy. No, what pregnancy? You say the problem is not about pregnancy. The problem is about what this client is thinking about that pregnancy. So the assessment has to be, and the diagnosis. The diagnosis, it is knowing the actual problems. And in medicine, when you say diagnosis, it means that you have understood the problem and you know now the medicine that should be applied to that a particular problem or that particular sickness. So same in counseling, you diagnose the challenge, you diagnose what is the problem, then you know, you assess the problem, and you are able to give what possible medicine, what therapy you can be able to use as a counselor. Then there is, in counseling intervention to be effective, there must be clear goal setting. How are you going to intervene in this situation? What method are you going to use? How are you going to help? What steps are you going to take for you to help the client to bring healing? Then there is appropriate intervention selection. What intervention are you going to use? So skilled implementation, you have to be able to use some skill in the implementation of the goals that you have you have crafted as a counselor. Then ongoing evaluation and adjustment. Every time you have to check on your client, just like psychology or counseling, it's a health program. So as a physician, you as a doctor, what the doctors does is that there is what they call review. So as a counselor, you work on evaluation, the reviewing how your client is performing, and lastly you get the feedback and participation. How is the situation? Is the client getting the help that is supposed to be taken? By understanding counseling intervention, counselors can provide effective support and guidance to their clients, promoting positive change and growth. So that is what counseling intervention is. So this is the end of the lesson, and God bless you and shalom. Meet me in the second lesson, in the other lesson, where we are going to look at counseling strategies. Thank you so much, and God bless you. This is Dr. Tulipo Mwenfumbo.